This passage is for when someone you love is slipping and you're tired of playing savior. That tension between walking with someone and not walking for them sits at the heart of this passage. In Galatians 6, verses 1 to 5, we read Paul giving a set of short instructions to a young church. He tells them to gently restore someone caught in sin, to bear one another's burdens, to avoid prideful comparison, and, at the same time, to carry their own load. It is a picture of shared weight that never erases personal responsibility. Observation first. The speaker is Paul, writing to believers in the region of Galatia who are struggling with division, legalism, and confusion about what life in the Spirit looks like. He mentions someone caught in a transgression, suggesting not a one-off stumble, but a pattern that has trapped them. Those who are spiritual are told to restore, not expose. The Greek word katartizō is used for setting a broken bone or mending a torn fishing net. It is slow, careful work, not a public snap. Paul warns the helpers to watch themselves so they are not tempted, hinting that pride is a real danger. He tells them to bear one another's burdens, then later says each one should carry their own load, setting up a deliberate tension. Interpretation next. For the original audience, this was a corrective to two extremes. On one side were harsh, law-focused voices eager to catch and condemn. On the other side were people who might shrug and say, "That's their issue." Paul threads a different path. Restoration is gentle, like resetting a bone so the body can function again. Romans 15 speaks similarly. The strong are to bear with the failings of the weak and seek their good. In Philippians 2, Paul urges believers to look not only to their own interests, but also to the interests of others. Yet here, he adds that each person still has a load that is theirs. In other words, shared burdens are the heavy weights no one should carry alone. Personal loads are the basic responsibilities no one can outsource. The theological truth is that Christian community reflects Christ when it combines compassion with seriousness about personal growth. Application brings it close. For us, this passage challenges both how we help and how we are helped. One concrete step is to think of one person who is obviously struggling with a pattern, maybe a friend sliding toward burnout, or a family member caught in a destructive habit, and move toward them gently instead of talking about them. That could look like one honest conversation framed as care, not as a verdict. Another step is to check where you may have handed your load to others. If you often expect friends to manage your emotions, decisions, or basic responsibilities, this text invites you to reclaim what is yours. Practically, that might mean starting a small habit, like keeping your own commitments without last-minute rescue, or naming one burden you need help with, instead of expecting people to guess. Over time, a community that learns to mend, carry, and still own its part becomes a safer place for both truth and healing. Study it deeply. Live it fully.